What's going on, everyone? So I didn't know if I was gonna actually make a video out of this, mainly because it was just a quick project that I did over this past weekend, but I gave our cold storage a facelift. Like most cold storages, it's cement walls, it's dirty, it doesn't have a finished roof. Ours didn't have a cased door or anything like that, and we wanted to clean it up and have a place that we actually want to put our food. So I ended up cleaning up the cement, filling in some holes, grinding down some high points, putting in carpet tiles, recessed lighting, a ceiling, an outlet, and casing the door. And I think it turned out pretty cool. So let's take a look. So this has been quite an adventure already. I started using a masonry grinding wheel, which worked fantastic. Got it all pretty smooth, but it was a huge mess. And I don't really want it to be smooth. I'm just trying to knock down some of the high points, some of the rough edges, and then fill in some of these big gaps and holes. So now that I've knocked all these down and recovered from the dust, I can move on to filling those. So I'm going to use some concrete repair to fill in those holes, and then I'm going to move on to the ceiling. Now in the ceiling, there is already a pretty standard, just general light right there with a switch on the outside. I'm going to utilize that electrical to put in a couple of recessed lights and maybe an outlet. It'll be a switched outlet, but it'll still work when I need it to. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to filling in the concrete holes and putting in the electrical and the drywall. Okay, so I have the drywall up, I have it taped, so I'll have a little bit more of the drywall to do, but it is up, and I'm gonna move on to the door jamb. I need to case this. I'm gonna use MDF with some spacers behind to true it all up and get it looking better. So I just finished casing the door, getting everything ready for paint with caulk, the texture on the roof, again caulked all of these seams up real good. I'm not going to be able to record the painting process in here, but I am going to do a primer, probably a couple coats of primer and a couple coats of the top coat. I'm not going to be able to record because it's going to be too much overspray. Luckily I have very good ventilation in here, but I will go ahead and show after the primer's done and then after the top coat.